All right, folks. Morning. Welcome in. Welcome to another episode of the Profits in PJs Premarket Plan. Gonna let some folks trickle in, and then we'll get started pretty quickly. ES is rallying pretty hard right now, so it'll be interesting. All right, let's do this. All right, so first things first, like I just said, it's very clear what's already happening at the moment. As we can see, ES is already starting to rally overnight. There we go. So as you can see, we got this large rally overnight, specifically originating right around here in this 45.70 area to the upside. So first things first, that's what I want to see from a bullish standpoint, is for us to hold pullbacks above this 45.70 area right here. If we can successfully do that, I will be interested in longs and continuation to the upside. That's what we're going to be going over in a nutshell. Right now, we're currently trading in this 45.84 supply zone. This is kind of what I've been talking about for the past couple of weeks on, let's see here, this was Tuesday, Monday. Yeah, so last Wednesday, a week ago, we almost tested this supply zone, but we barely missed it. And now today, and even yesterday, we got pretty close up there, but still couldn't do it. So now finally, not only are we testing the zone, but we're also above that high from last week. So very interesting. And we're currently holding pretty well up here inside of the supply zone. So buying is definitely strong right now. But it's going to be interesting to see, will sellers step in here? Because we do have a few levels of supply, like not just this one. If we take a look, there's pretty much back-to-back supply zones for the next 30 or so points. So all of these areas are going to be like potential areas to take the market short. Specifically, of course, I'm watching this 4-hour one up here. It's a larger time frame. Those tend to be more reliable. But at the same time, we did break above this previous high of pretty much the highest we've been since the highs from this summer. So we are about, let's see if we zoom out. Yeah, those highs, we're not too far off of them. We're about 100 points away. So if we come back here, oh my god. All right. So with that being said, now that we are above, there we go. Now that we are above this high of last week, I want to see if, people are going to get trapped above this. You know how it always goes. People on Twitter, they're like, oh, like everybody getting calls above such and such high. And this is that high that we're referring to. So this 45.80, I'm going to be watching to see if we can get a nice rejection. If we can trap some folks up above in this area, specifically in the supply zone, because this is a perfect recipe for a trap, right? People getting long, taking calls as soon as we break out above this, not knowing that we have a level of supply waiting for them. And then for sellers to reload their positions where we had this super large wick right here. And for those sellers to get trapped and see pain again back into this 45.70 area that I said I would be watching for to hold if we do end up getting a pullback. Okay. So again, in terms of kind of what setups I'm looking for, there's really only what I just went over, but specifically, again, we have these three levels of supply pretty much back to back to back, even if you include the obviously highs of the summer, but that's pretty far away. So these on the 4 hour zone at 46.12 is the main one that I'm watching for. But we also, of course, have this 45.95 one above the supply that we're currently in right now. And that one's pretty unique as well, considering it's pretty much right in alignment with 4,600, even. Nice psychological number there. So watching that one as well. I just ended up drawing a line here because I didn't want, a bunch of pink boxes back to back to back all on top of each other, because that would be just clutter on the chart. But yeah. All right. So now let's get into those setups. If we drop the time frame a little bit lower, right now we're on the 4 hour chart. So let's go down to the 3, see if we can find any sort of demand zone. I can just kind of eyeball this. Yep, I knew it. I was going to say, excuse me. I already pointed, oh my gosh. TOS does not want to cooperate today. All right, so like I said, I already kind of pointed out the 45.70 area. I could just eyeball that immediately and see that's kind of where the bullish action originated from overnight. But yeah, we're just gonna mark this zone together live. So yeah, we have a 2 hour demand zone here, right? If you've pretty much watched like any supply and demand zone video, you know that these kind of are how they're structured. All right, so like I said, I am watching for pullbacks into 45.70. Really, this is a pretty small zone, and that's not that much wiggle room. Like personally, I'm just gonna drop this down to like 45.65 instead. I'd really just like to see us hold like above this general area here. Maybe even a little bit lower to like 6.3, honestly. Like right here. I guess this is 6.4. All right, 6.4. Okay. All right, anyways, so yeah, the first setup that like I said, I'm watching for is, of course, for us to trap late longs above these highs right up here, right? So this previous high that we had from last Wednesday, I want to see us now have sellers step in, which it looks like we're getting already, so that's a good sign. I want to see us have sellers step in here and move us back down into this 45.70 demand zone down here that we're watching for. This is the first scenario. So again, a break above this previous high from last week, which check, we already got that. I want to see us have sellers stepping in, which it looks like we're also already getting inside of the supply zone. And I want to see us have a move down into, again, this 45.70 demand. That's the first scenario that I'm watching for. So let's go ahead, screenshot this really quickly. All right. Now, second scenario that I would like to see is for us to actually be able to break out above this. Now, you all know me. I do not like playing breakouts, or at least not blindly playing breakouts. Like if the tape warrants it and it looks like buying is strong on the tape, then I'll take a trade. But I need to see like that bullish order flow, that maybe like some consolidation up at the highs, or some type of sign of acceptance of higher prices before getting long for the next leg higher, right? So a scenario like today would be, let's say that we trade up into, let me zoom in so you guys can see this better. Maybe drop the time frame to the 30-minute. All right, cool. So let's say, right, we're up here inside of supply. We start consolidating a little bit at these highs, and then that's when we get our move to the upside, right? And me personally, I'd want to be long somewhere down here, maybe put my stop below some of these wicks and target 4,600 even up above. Like that's something that I would be looking for if I'm looking for that bullish continuation. So now we can kind of draw out our levels. Yeah, first target for the upside would be something like this 4,600 and this 45.95 supply, of course. But yeah, again, if I'm looking to be bullish, I'm not just trying to, play this breakout above. Like I said, I'm first watching for, late longs to get trapped up here in any of these areas of potential selling, since we do have so many supplies stacked on top of each other. But if we do get that continuation, right, the market opens, maybe we pull back a little, but we end up retesting these levels and we're consolidating, I'm definitely going to be interested in getting long somewhere in here, putting my stop below whatever pullback we end up getting and targeting first for a quick scalp this 45.95, but ultimately this 4,600 level. And then after that, ultimately that 46.12 supply zone, which is currently off the screen. But you guys get the point. So let's go ahead and screenshot this. This is the bullish scenario for today. All right. So to kind of recap what we've gone over one last time, again, first things first, watching for, if we can get this on the screen really quickly. There we go. First things first, going to be watching for, again, late longs to be trapped above last week's highs. We're inside of supply. They don't, they're just kind of blindly doing the basic retail trading where they play a breakout above, some relative level that everybody's watching. They end up getting trapped, and we move down into this area. That's the first thing that I'm watching for. Second thing is that acceptance for the move higher into any of these supply zones in the 4,600 range. It's pretty simple. And that's how I like my trading, to be simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. All right, so let's go ahead and we will move on over into the pre-market plan to type this all up. So to the upside, and this I guess will just be another recap in case anyone needs clarity. All right, so again, let's start with the downside first. To the downside, I would like to see late longs trapped above last week's highs at 40, 45, 81. If selling steps inside of supply at 45.84, I will be interested in playing short, targeting 45.70. below. And this is a demand zone, 45.70 demand below. And then to the upside, I would like to see acceptance of higher prices above 45. Let's just call it 45.85. If so, I will be open to playing long, targeting first 45.95 supply, then 4600, and finally 4612 supply, which is the final target. All right. Looks like we're all good there. Pretty simple plan today. Pretty simple plan. Overall, again, ES has been bullish. It's pretty much been bullish for the past month and some change. We did take a little bit of a breather, but we're still moving higher. So I am going to be cautious while playing counter trend until we get up into this key supply zone of 46.12 up here, like I've been saying. But again, there are good areas of selling, right? We're already seeing it right now inside of this supply zone. Then we have another one stacked right on top of it at 45.95. Then we have that 4600 psychological level. And then finally, we have this key supply zone, this 4-hour one at 46.12. So if you're going to play counter trend, this is the time to do it. I'll be watching for it, like I said. And yeah. So if anyone has any questions, let me know now. Otherwise, I'll let you guys get started with your pre-market routines. And if you're in the Discord, I'll see you there. Good luck today if you're trading. Be sure to follow your rules. Be sure to stay disciplined. You don't have to take every trade just because the market's moving. Just wait for the setups that present you, whether that's the ones that we've gone over today or you have your own plan. That's what you need to be following. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next episode. This was a short one, but hope that you got something out of it. Be sure to hit the like button if you found this valuable. Leave any comments if you have any questions. And I'll see you guys in the next one.